Hello again. My name is DecisionY2016, D16 for short, and welcome to the Channelverse Direct. But first, what is Channelverse? Channelverse is an overarching series starring a self-insert character represented by my profile picture. Every single video where my PFP goes on some kind of adventure is part of that series. We are currently in Phase 1. Specifically, Chapter 1, Power. This chapter shows how my self-insert increases in power level, from a mere 300 to 20,000. Now that we've gotten that recap out of the way, it's time to discuss Chapter 2, Skill. Unfortunately, power is just not enough. To eventually become a top tier in the verse, one must have power and skill. This chapter of Phase 1 starts off with the Duolingo Saga. This saga takes place over a week after Christmas. Where Chapter 1 left off, Duolingo gave our protagonist a choice. Start over his Italian lessons or else. The deadline given was June 2025. But starting 2 days after Christmas, our hero goes on a training arc before gathering allies to hunt Duo down. Will he succeed or will he lose his entire family? Find out. Starting January 7th, 2024. You know how this still image from Steamboat Willie's entering the public domain next year? I'm doing a whole saga based on this. It drops sometime after the Duolingo saga. The homeless guy from the Grimace Shake saga will play a major role. And to wrap up Phase 1, the Necromancer saga, I think. There's gonna be some returning villains, and of course this Necromancer guy. It drops sometime after the, let's just say, Michael Mouse saga. On to Phase 2. Chapter 1, Loose Ends. I don't have any plans for this chapter other than this one final saga. Expect this chapter to start in 2025. Chapter 2, Satanic Games. This story will be split up into 3 sagas, all centered around this cult following basically Satan's left-hand man. First, they need to be tracked down. Then you have to prevent them from summoning their lord. Then you know what every good story needs? That's right, a tournament arc. A tournament between the top 16 strongest humans alive. Winner gets the title of World's Strongest Human. This entire chapter will drop between 2025 and 2026. Chapter 3, 1940s Germans. This entire chapter will be centered around the type of people Kanye associated with himself in 2022. First up, we got the Ultra Adventure Club saga, where our hero will have to face off against, the Ultra Adventure Club. These people want both sides of the Israel-Palestine conflict destroyed. They align with 1940s Germans. Up next is the rematch against the guy in the previous picture, who just so happens to be the Ultra Adventure Club's leader. This is all going down in Jabandi Manor. The final saga of Phase 2 will simply be called Endgame. It takes place 20 years after Jabandi Manor. This entire chapter will drop in 2026. Phase 3. In Phase 1, Chapter 1, we established the existence of 3 artifacts. The Spirit Shackler, which was infused into our hero's body at the end of the Waffle House saga. The Z Upgrade, which was infused into his body in the middle of the Return to New York trilogy. This is Triple Arrows, which will debut in the Duolingo saga. This time, there's only 1 chapter. Starting in January 2027 is the Return to Jabandi one-off. Everyone will have undergone a training arc this time. The 3 sagas in this chapter are all connected and each follow a certain theme. A fallen angel known as the Earthbound will be alluded to at the end of Phase 1, making his official debut at the end of Phase 2. And throughout Phase 3, he will be playing a major role. You see, the artifacts are all connected to him. He originally joined Lucifer's rebellion against God, but then at the first opportunity, he betrayed him. For his crimes, he was banished to Earth. For many thousands of years, he has been searching for his champion, so that he may once again attempt to overthrow the 2 beings he betrayed. The Earthbound Encounter saga begins immediately after the one-off. God and Satan realize they have to team up, so they try to recruit our hero. The Earthbound tries to recruit his champion. No matter what happens, you can't prevent an all-out war. The Preparation Saga begins mid-2027. And now for the longest saga in the entire series. One relatively minor spat escalates to the point of the conflict, carnage, bloodshed. It is everywhere, all over heaven. The events of the ancient past play out again, albeit slightly differently. But no matter who wins, the balance of power will be significantly changed. This is the second war in heaven. It will run for the entirety of 2028. And thus concludes Phase 3 and therefore the Earthbound Epic. This has been my plan for the next 5 years of Channelverse. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in 2024.